Yo, what up, church? I'm going to talk about the scales of Leviathan. The scales of Leviathan are impenetrable, and it correlates with pride, okay? And this thing is juxtaposed to the scales that are in Egypt. Considering in Egypt, ancient hieroglyphs would show depictions of deities weighing the heart, the moral compass, and ethics. But the scales of pride blinds, even one according to knowledge, whether their knowledge be good or whether their knowledge be evil. But if your knowledge be evil, you must use more discernment and be careful. Many individuals that are experts for a reason. Imagine the sacrifices, and these sacrifices aren't sacrifices necessarily of their hand. They sit high up. But those individuals that don't listen to sound reason. 369, imagine reality called into existence, Nikola Tesla. The resonance of frequencies that unlocks the universe. Imagine your vocal cords and your thoughts. How you are in harmony. The ways of your knowledge will betray you if you have pride. Though you could know many things, you can't know what you're losing, like your memory. And losing your memory is considered darkness. This darkness correlates with ignorance, and this ignorance is blindness. How can a blind man consider what he's not seeing if he never seen before? Or if you lost something within your mind, how can you find it unless you were called to remember? But if those things are things that you wouldn't be called to remember that pertain to secrets or even your own privacy in which you can't I forget the word for it. You can't confide in another individual, then these things are lost in oblivion. And it's going along with the rest of your mind. And the associations that goes along with that memory go also, while you're focused on other things. Imagine if your consciousness can only hold 8 facts at a time. How many facts do you have to hold each day? How many things do you have to remember? How many times have you lost your keys and you dare not thank God or consider morals or ethics? There's a balance to this trade. You could become a liability. And in such matter, the scales of pride, individuals thinking they're invincible, maybe in this world for a little while, that is, they are not invincible to their own ways of destruction. These things are blind. Before them, they cannot see the light, even though it shines. Clear caution signs and warnings. These things are looked over. Watched over like a shepherd, but a shepherd that has fallen. Such is your way in your own steps. And when I point them out, you find them offensive. I'm only trying to help. You such a coward, you trying to shoot the messenger. All those things people say behind your back. Of all the people that you pick on the ones that try to help and the nice guy. Why? Because the nice guy seems like an easy target that you could conquer. But you can't. Considering your ways and your pride and your scales, if you lose your ethics and morals pertaining to your trade and your ways and your business, you will have to reap sacrifices. And of those sacrifices, you'll have to cope. And of those things you can't cope, disassociation. And of this association, there goes your soul. And with your soul goes your mind. You could pass through time, but without memory, you won't remember the last 10 seconds. Therefore, you sit there with the life of a gnat, thinking you're alive because you're physical and you could breathe or have a heartbeat. These things are superficial also. These things don't pertain to depth. These things pertain to things that are finite. You got an infinite number of problems. and an infinite number of contacts, and an infinite number of ways that you can be reached, and an infinite number of things that you forget on a daily basis. And yet, you are so on top of things, you know all things also, you think you are a God. But to be a God in this world means what? These things can't be necessarily good. Therefore, if you are gods of your own way, and you judge your own steps, and your knowledge is imperfect, and your memory is shoddy at best, considering this matrix that changes, the faces that you see on a daily basis that causes confusion, their memories that you depend on also when you forget things, how reliable they are, how great are their best intentions, how many will back you if you get a flat tire, if you don't have resources, if you're down and out, will those same individuals be around? And the scales of your pride are impenetrable, but only for a moment. And these things only occur if you have lost your heart. And if you have lost your heart, you have lost your mind. And if you have lost your mind, what direction you got? All I have to do to conquer you is not say shit. And there you go. Peace and blessings be with you all. These are as the scales of Leviathan.